Hello there. Today I'm tasting at Chateau Lagoon in Loudon, the south of the Médoc, and behind me the Union de Grand Cru's annual en-primeur tasting is going on for the 2023 vintage. And I picked out a bottle to talk to you about here, Chateau Cantemerle. Now I've always been a big fan of Chateau Cantemerle. I think they make some quite classic in a good sense, clarets, using that very British term, sorry. And they're good value, that they tend to have quite restrained alcohol, and for that reason I like the balance on the wines. But this year, Cantemerle actually stood out for me. We're looking at a time when this part of the southern Médoc, this vintage, is excelling with its Cabernet Sauvignon, which is beautifully perfumed, it seems, from the 2023 vintage. And perhaps showing that little bit more perfume, because these wines still have to spend probably a year in barrel before they're going to be bottled. But this beautiful perfume is just leaping out of the glass here. This is a wine that's 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, and on top of that, there's another 6% of Cabernet Franc as well. So the high percentage of Cabernet has really given us some fantastic aromas. The balance of that is 4% of Petit Verdot, and the rest, the remaining 15% of the blend, is Merlot. Now, Cantemerle, like La Lagune, where we are, is south of Margaux, actually in Macau. Fifth growth, and as I say, I think often produces some really good value wines, but here I think is a wine that's standing out as perhaps a really good example of their wines. You've got a deep, dark, but not quite opaque, purple-red colour. The aromas actually have a sort of a toastiness. Now, when I'm talking about a red wine, I'm talking about toastiness. I'm talking about barrel toast rather than sort of aromas of toast. So it's slightly charred sort of note. But lurking behind that, there's a sort of a black plum and perhaps some notes of cassis. Maybe you'd think with that much Cabernet in there, you'd expect the black currant to come leaping out, but not on the nose. So let's see what make of the palate, shall we? And this is where the cassis notes that I was expecting, in fact I'll say blackcurrant, because they seem a little riper, a little juicier, and they're really leaping out, because the wonderful combination of the fabulous acidity this wine has got. It's got a lovely pure, fresh, almost mineral acidity, and it's lifting this black fruit to be so juicy. There's a sort of a core behind it of sort of black plum, but it really is the cassis note that's the fore here. Now the wine has structure, but it's not at all astringent. It's not drying. There's just a hint of spice. But in general, the tannins are almost like sort of chewing the pips of a grape. There's a sort of a chewiness to them that isn't astringent and drying. Now the other thing that's typical of Cantemerle here is lovely balanced alcohol. The alcohol's not overpowering the finish. So that lovely fresh blackcurranty perfume is following on a long finish. So a midweight wine, I would guess probably not one of the more expensive en-primeur releases, but one that I think people may well find delivers value. It's certainly a wine that will be very enjoyable to drink. It's one you might have to keep locked in your cellar, because I think it's possibly one that might not get round to aging, because it'll be so enjoyable when it's young, but it's certainly got the fabulous acidity and a nice assured structure that will enable it to age. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the tasting. If you're finding this tasting interesting, please press the like button. Do consider signing up and following us on YouTube. It would be fantastic to have your subscription, your support there. Any comments you have, please leave those in the box below. I'll leave a link there in the notes so that you can follow that to the wine searcher page for this wine, and as pricing comes up and as critics' notes become available, you'll be able to see those there, and any extra information we've managed to gain will be there as well. So hopefully that will be useful to you. So thanks again for watching, and I do hope you'll manage to join us for another tasting in the very